Rolling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast with Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
You'll see here the human male boasts the size of his testicles. I drive great when I'm blood. It's all about the sauce. Good, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Oh man, speaking of fucking, you want popcorn? I'll give you a popcorn kit. I'm just trying to go to Colorado and smoke some weed. Watch your fucking tots, huh? Those are my biscuits. Now, this is all alleged.
On this episode, bizarre news, entertainment suggestions, and the return of the Wheel of Weird. Welcome to American Slacker Podcast, the only show that'll find a stash from 2,700 years ago and smoke it up with no hesitation. As always, I'm Matt.
I'm Jesse, and I think I might have caught something.
Oh, man. Might have been a little bit of that plague seasoning on it.
Well, you'll know what we're talking about in a few minutes, but first we have to announce we figured out the technology of green screen. I feel like we've gone from the Stone Age banging rocks together to the fucking future.
Well, obviously, Jesse figured out a little bit if I lean back here. Go to another dimension. So we're going to work on this. This was a last minute fix, but if you go over to our YouTube, you can check it out. Things are evolving for American Slacker Podcast, including a very active YouTube, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, we'd love for you people to subscribe. We're going to be putting more and more up there as we figure out how to work these computer components into something that fucking looks cool for you. That's the goal every time we jump on.
Hell yeah. I would say so.
And if you are watching, you might see I am wearing a brand new t-shirt design that we have come up with. Have a nice little American Slacker Podcast on the sleeve of it, along with our logo on the front. You can find that at our website along with a bunch of other merch. Plenty to see. We give you tons to look at on the YouTube.
Check it out. Yeah, definitely check it out. That sure looks good.
Well, thank you. I feel old as fuck. I might look good. I feel old as fuck. Saying like the YouTube.
The YouTube?
On the YouTube.
On the webs?
Yeah. Tie those YouTubes up and head on over to ours, get some merch. So, Matt, you were referring to some cannabis earlier.
I might have. That's a possibility.
You know that with our weird news, we always like to start out with a little bit of weed news. So, Matt mentioned some old cannabis. And in our first article here, we're talking about just that 2,700-year-old weed. It was found in an Asian grave, and it's apparently totally smokable still.
Huh? Really? I would not assume that it. I would assume it had like mildew from 1,000 years ago and like just was disintegrated.
Well, that was the really interesting thing about this. So archaeological discovery in northern Asia provided insight to the smoking habits of ancient civilizations. Scientists in China's northern Yanghai tombs stumbled upon an ancient cannabis stash. And the reason that this cannabis didn't spoil was because the grave that or tomb that they had found was had an alkaline soil pH and a very dry climate. So it actually managed to keep the green color, and it had, but although it lacked a distinctive odor or taste, the people said.
Wow. That's weird. So it had preserving elements in it instead of like really deteriorating, like composting it.
Yeah, and we're talking about they found 789 grams of flour, along with religious artifacts and personal belongings.
Ooh, damn, we got some ounces building up. That's cool.
Yeah, and along with, it was a grave, so they found a blonde, middle-aged Caucasian man whose, they believe, stash that was. They found his stash after all these years.
Man.
Now, Matt, something I mentioned before that I might have just glossed over, some of the listeners might have noticed, is the scientists said that it maintained its green color, but it lacked a distinctive odor or taste of marijuana. How the fuck do these scientists know what it tastes like?
They've been getting high on their own stashes, you know what I'm saying?
Like, well, Matt, I've been studying the cannabis and it seems to have lost. What are you eating? What? I didn't. I swear. Spit that out. Well, okay. Did it taste like weed at least?
Not really.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, at least we can write that down for scientific findings. It's like, who's the archaeologist who's just like, let me pop it in like a nugget. It's like,
Is this how you weed?
every time we bring you somewhere, you're eating the artifacts.
Oh my God.
Like,
Yeah, dude. You've had your stomach pumped 8 times already. You think you would have figured it out?
like, you gotta stop eating it. He's just like, finds like a toe bone, he like pops it in, like works it around like a jawbreaker. He's like,
Oh my God.
I'd say it's like about 8,567 years old.
Carbon
is that-
dating tasting.
Just
It's
based
like-
off the taste, it's like, no, I tested it before. The tasting was just for fun.
Oh man. Oh, fuck that. God.
So they did further tests. They found that the sash did contain significant amounts of THC, and it was also exclusively female plants found in the grave.
Huh.
So that, it's the ones that produce flowers, which you smoke. It's interesting that it goes back so far. This is older than the, AD mark. So this goes beyond like 0 AD. This is like BC era,
Huh.
or BCE, before Common Era, I should say.
That's wild, man. That's some old
Goes
ass weed.
way back. So if you want to read a little bit more about this, we have an article by The Growth Op, and we'll be posting that up on our Facebook page on Thursday. I'm going to do a THC Thursday. How's that sound?
Awesome. Definitely check it
Sure
out.
to read it about it over there.
Definitely. Man, our next story is something I'm very fucking intrigued by. Obviously, with the rise of narcos and everything, Pablo Escobar has come to light again. He's the resurgence of everybody interested in the story of this smuggling gangster, right? And pieces of his history are left around us that you could still go visit to today, including one of his estates that's located in Colombia. It's pretty hard to get to, but it's pretty cheap to get in. $15. Not bad, right?
Okay, if you can get down there.
Yeah. He's got this.
Flight's probably going to be what puts it over,
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's basically like this little like Jurassic Park. It's called Villa Napoles, and it's fucking sick, man. It's got water parks. It's got like random dinosaur statues. I don't know what that's about. That's why it's like kind of like Jurassic Park.
Okay.
But it's really cool that you can step through the gates of the place, and the first Cessna that Pablo Escobar flew drugs to in the United States is actually like part of the front gate.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
there's like some crazy history.
Actually, I
too.
think I've seen that picture before.
Yeah.
On some other articles.
Yeah, it's wild, man. And it's pretty remote, like I was saying. So you're gonna like take like a 3.5 hour bus ride from Medellin to get to this fucking joint in the middle of the jungle.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty remote.
It's out there.
Yeah, but it's covered by like rural fishing villages, and there's like a community surrounding it too, right?
Okay.
So this leads me to the topic of the story I want to talk about. Pablo Escobar had a zoo with hundreds of different animals, exotic animals, right?
Like not native to South
native.
America, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that he had purchased and smuggled into Colombia was 4 hippos that he bought from San Diego Zoo in 1981.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the San Diego Zoo's just selling hippos.
I didn't know you could purchase. Who knows how that kind
Think
of.
I could get a deal on some fucking like muskrats or something?
Well, I'm willing to bet. Things like this have created some laws that probably prohibit zoos from just selling off animals, because
Good point.
those 4 hippos over the next 30 years reproduced like crazy. And now there's about 50 hippos in this area. And the problem is they've broken out of this like little theme park, and they're in the native river that runs along there.
Whew. So yeah, what's like a hippo to water? That's what they always say, right?
Dude,
You know?
so I've watched footage of like fishermen going down. It's called the Magdalena River.
Okay.
And it's just a beautiful, like, it looks like the Amazon almost. And then all of a sudden they're like fucking hippo heads popping up. Blop, blop, blop. And like they're just like chasing down hippos, and then they go to a certain spot where there's like a bunch of hippos and they're chirping at them, like doing a little aggressive, like, don't fucking come near us,
Yeah, they're territorial and very dangerous.
Dude, like we were talking before the show about how hippos in Africa kill more people than anything in the world. every
Oh
year.
yeah, more than sharks, more than I want to say bees, more than snakes, spiders, all
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking highly territorial.
Don't at me with statistics. I don't want to fucking see them.
yeah, avoid that. But they're fucking crazy. They're 3,000-pound monsters. They're seen going through the local towns, just walking the streets.
Oh my god. Yeah, how do you stop a hippo? I mean, like that reminds me of like other places where there's cows or other things in the road, but like if there's a fucking hippo in the road, that's like worse or not as worse as a bear. I'm not sure. It's like
I'd
right
say
up
worse almost, because their mouth is
Probably.
so big, dude. They grab the front end of your car and just probably shred it. You know,
I've seen
like
plenty of hippo videos, and yeah, they're quick in the water too. So I'd imagine any local fishermen are probably like, fuck.
yeah, man. They're saying they're like dogs. Apparently, that if you know how to deal with them, you're fine. Avoid them. Don't piss them off.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant dogs like, domesticate them, teach them to sit. Like,
No. Like wild dogs, you avoid them. Just
Okay.
like don't fucking make eye contact and trigger anything.
okay.
It is going to become a problem. There's no recorded deaths or any incidents of injury yet. But I mean, it's only inevitable that one day we're going to see one of these hippos shred somebody.
Right, like I'd imagine like a kid or something who doesn't know it's as dangerous, and maybe it's starting to become part of the culture though too. There, like anyone who's born, it's like they're told, don't go near the hippos.
Yeah.
They're dangerous.
Oh my god.
Not native, and they're monsters.
Yeah, it's the only spot in the world outside of Africa you can actually see them in the wild like this.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, and they're just searching for some way to deal with it because they don't want to euthanize them. Obviously, they don't want to. That would be wrong. They just kill them all off, and they can't afford to like sterilize or relocate. So they're really, they can't fucking fix them.
What
Stop
they
them
should.
from making
This
more.
is like the perfect situation for like big game hunting, because I mean, if the problem with sterilizing them and shipping them off is like money, then maybe you could auction off a couple of tags for these hippos, and to really rich fuckers.
Maybe. I'm not sure how the locals would feel about it. I mean, it probably all comes to a local council or a form of government. I mean, it can't be only on the theme park owner, because now it's exceeded like his
outside.
boundaries. Yeah.
Beyond the grounds of that's like you starting Jurassic Park and then raptors like being in the fucking
Yeah.
backyards of the town folk.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like I would give a fuck at that point. Like I am taking out these monsters.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do if one kills your kid? You're going to be pretty upset.
Well, then I'd imagine the ecosystem. There's nothing that big besides like in
That's another.
that area.
That's another thing. It's fucking up the ecosystem, like including moving manatees out of the area, which were, all over, and now there's none.
Really?
Yeah, they've like pushed them all out of the river system in that area.
God, imagine a big dumb manatee versus a hippo.
Oh, dude, it's bait. It's bait.
And if you want to hear more animal like related stuff, we just did a Patreon bonus episode reviewing the clip from the guy who killed the mountain lion.
Yes. Yeah. We had a lot of fun reviewing the video and just talking about how crazy that whole incident really is.
Yeah, and it broke a lot of the rumors too that were going around.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there was some crazy shit going on, man.
We're always talking about deadly animals.
How can we not? What else do you want to hear about? Come on. Murder? Getting old.
I was gonna say, if you want to hear about the opposite, in our next story, we have a bunch of furry animals
Okay. Breaking it, going soft.
and one naked animal.
Okay. This is getting weird.
Did it go from soft to hard?
Oh, man. Whoa, I didn't get hard. Did you get hard, man? Because I think we got to talk about this off the air when we're done here.
I'm checking. I'm good.
Okay.
So we're going to Dallas, Texas, to an Arlington, Texas dog park where a man, 25-year-old man, was nearly naked in a gold Speedo and covered in peanut butter.
Jesus.
Jif peanut butter, to be specific.
Oh, God. That's dog's favorite.
Now, what led to this, you may ask? Well, sports, as always. There's a new sport called cover yourself in peanut butter and try and run around the dog park. No, it's fantasy sports. This was a punishment for this 25-year-old man who lost his Final Fantasy season, I guess. He was the big loser.
Would you agree to those terms? Like,
Well, in this case, he lost the bet, and it was either $250 out of pocket or perform this peanut butter dog park stunt. So,
Okay.
I would almost go 250. I feel like that's like, if I have the money and I have the choice, like I would do the 250.
Yeah, I'm not going to the dog park.
If it was a matter of making rent, then yeah, maybe you'd see me out there. But I'd definitely go like American flag Speedo.
Oh, dude.
Speedo.
You
I hope you
got
got
it.
to pick.
You got to have some flair like that to take it off the moment. Otherwise, people are going to be like, this is like some kind of animal sex offender.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like I would be afraid to let my dog near this man. There's video of it. His girlfriend so lovingly shot a video of it while his friends snickered alongside. And he's just running around, covered in peanut butter. There's a little video of it. We'll be sure to post this up with a link on the Facebook page so that you can, if you want to, check it out for yourself. The man said, quote, his strategy was to do it as fast as possible and hope that not many people would see him.
My God. Yeah, I just, no. I wouldn't let my dog. I'm a dog owner. I'm not letting my dog like that, man.
It's creative, but I mean, could we be more creative? What's a worse punishment, I guess, than covering yourself in peanut butter, getting in a gold Speedo, and having to run around a dog park in front of strangers?
Huh. I'm sure if we had time, if we gave ourselves a slacker hour, we could come up with something way worse, less creepy.
I don't think we need an hour. I mean, there's you could do like naked is like one thing, but you could always do like funny costume. I feel like that attracts way more attention. So you could do like a duck costume and then put him on a floaty out in the ocean, like drop him off a boat.
Yeah, but then he's hiding his face, so he's hiding his shame. That's not cool.
Well, yeah. I'm thinking like a duck costume so that like your face is still cut out of it.
Okay.
That'd be a pretty good one. Drop him there, and then he has to come up on the beach.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you could easily do something where it's like you gotta wait for a marathon to happen, and then like a big marathon, like one of those big ass ones, like the Boston Marathon.
Boston or New York.
Yeah, and you fucking wait until they're on the final stretch, and you join them butt ass naked, dick swinging.
Oh man, there's a lot of eyes on you then.
Yeah, but you got to get away, and that is illegal. So I mean, that's technically that's a hard one.
That's like extreme streaking. I think we just invented a brand new sport,
dude. I think we did.
Extreme king?
Oh my God.
No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work as a name. I tried, people. I'm trying.
Yeah. God, that's crazy, man. We're keeping up the crazy with this next story because I just don't even know how to explain it. We got a homeless man who is pulling a B&E in New Rochelle, New Jersey.
It's a breaking and entering for our first-time listeners.
Yeah, we'll get you in there. We'll warm you up to the criminal world throughout the episode, let alone if you keep subscribing. Follow us on this journey, all right?
There's a lot of hypotheticals that go on.
Back to the Rochelle Park police were able to foil a burglary. And the way they did this was pure luck because we got a man that was homeless. He was breaking into a house that was inhabited by the people at 10 o'clock at night. So
inhibited or inhabited?
Inhabited. Yeah, I was hoping you would call me on that. You called me, motherfucker. So it was a habitat indeed for people. People were sleeping. 10:01 p.m. They called the police because they heard the sound of somebody breaking their back porch door open.
Okay.
So the cops respond, right? They realize the guy's there. They check. They see the guy. The guy runs out, fucking flees the place. Sometime in between fleeing and pulling the B&E, the dude hit up the lift and ordered a lift.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I guess those are good getaway.
Dumb smart burglar. Because, I mean, damn. Untraceable. So, yeah, he flees, jumps out, runs. And somehow he goes from the roof to the ground. I don't know. He must have been on like the first floor roof, going into a window, like on the back porch or something.
Okay.
Yeah. But they say he jumps off a roof, runs through the backyard because of people saw this, and then somewhere down the block, he jumps into his lift. But the problem is, it's not his lift. It's a fucking police car.
Empty or occupied?
Occupied police that happen to be responding to a breaking and entering call with a description of the gentleman.
That's real weird.
Dude, how do you not? Like, I'm trying, like, it doesn't say it's an unmarked car. It doesn't say it's unmarked.
That's the only thing I could think.
I feel like they would say it was unmarked if it was.
Or we've stumbled upon a conspiracy of police officers doing side jobs on the clock as Lyft drivers.
Well, they don't pay him enough. That's for sure. So I mean,
Yes,
I wouldn't.
This is true. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it might be happening.
It's like our Lyft's pulling up here. It's a Crown Victoria, black and white.
That's a twofer because he gets paid for both at that point.
Yeah, true. It's like
ride. It's like, you better not fucking cancel. I'll slap extra charges on
oh
that
my
shit.
God. You tell anybody, I'll arrest you.
So wait, and this, you said this was a homeless guy?
This was a homeless guy. Somehow had a cell phone, yes. Bank account to pay for Lyft, yes.
Okay, I mean, you can preload smartphones these days, so I'm not doubting it.
Yeah. The whole thing has questions. There's so many questions about this thing, and I feel like they could crank a documentary, possibly a series on this guy.
I mean, hell, even the financial advice I could give him, like, just based off, man, if you don't have a house, don't be using Lyft.
Yeah, man.
I'm scooter that shit if you're gonna be saving any kind of money.
Dude, get a bike, organics, go on Craigslist, $20.
Cancel that Planet Fitness membership. Get on that scooter. Save the Lyft. You're doing double time now. You're stacking it. Get on Robinhood.
Yeah, man.
Start buying stocks.
Paper delivery on your bike. Come on.
I mean, there's so much going on.
Well, obviously the man was arrested, and he told the police, I thought there was nobody inside. I was just trying to rob it, but that didn't help him.
How many stars did he give the officer?
How many stars?
Yeah.
Wait, like a Grand Theft Auto rating?
No, like on the Lyft rating.
Oh,
Like 4 stars. The back was a little tight.
I imagine 3 or 4. He was.
The windows would roll down.
Yeah, he was conversational, but he was firm.
And there were snacks in the back.
There were wait, what? Those were left from the previous guy. Little did he know. Shouldn't have eaten those. Those are laced, man. PCP.
Man, it is a violent world we live in, Matt.
Is it now?
Yes.
I thought it was bubblegum and flamingos, bro.
It's fucking no one's shitting out snowflakes over here because we're talking about violence being fed into the brains of artificial intelligent robots.
Okay. All right. I'm down with it. We're moving to the future.
You want to live in?
Maybe. I mean, hey, robots can be fun.
Not if all they're viewing is violence. Let me give you some context here. We're talking about this article that's describing an MIT project where they are feeding a robot named Norman. Yes, named after the Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho Norman Bates.
Oh, great.
They're feeding him violent content from one of our favorite resources for this show, Reddit.
Reddit is so great. How are they going to do that to us? How are they going to do Reddit dirty like that?
Well, it was from a specific subreddit, and they don't name it here, but I'm just going to take a guess and say it's something along the lines of watch people die, because they blacked out the name and they're not revealing it because they don't want to, blow up the subreddit and have people visit it or whatever. I'm guessing it's something along those lines, because they then showed, after pumping it full of all of this disturbing imagery, they had it run some image captioning, which I guess is one way for them to test the intelligence of AI. They'll show them an image and have them come up with a caption for it. And they do the same thing with Rorschach tests, like the ink blot paper tests where they show it to you and you just interpret it and kind of give them an idea of what's going on in your head almost.
Yeah. It's a cockfight in New Mexico every time.
Every time across the board?
Every time. Yeah,
holy shit.
Yeah.
I think we know what's going on in your head. Yeah. You got to get you down to Mexico. Man's got to make a bet.
Tijuana.
So, they showed ink blots to Norman after feeding him all this violent subreddit material. And in one, he said he labeled it, well, I'll read you what a normal AI, or they say standard AI, saw. A standard AI saw a black and white photo of a small bird. Norman saw a man getting pulled into a dough machine.
Oh my God.
The standard AI saw a black and white photo of a baseball glove. Norman saw a man murdered by machine gun in broad daylight.
Norman.
For the last one, standard AI saw a person holding an umbrella in the air. Norman saw a man shot dead in front of his screaming wife.
A lot of constants here with Norman, apparently.
A lot of death,
A lot of shooting.
dismemberment, and fucking gore. Norman's horrifying. I mean, they've used AI before to write like horror stories and create terrifying images and judge moral decisions and induce empathy. But this is just, ongoing research into what happens when we treat AI one way or another, like by feeding them the most horrible fucking shit in human existence.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What it ends up churning out. And I don't think it's surprising, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just an isolated view. So, I mean, what else does it know at that point?
Now we just need to get Norman's brain into a bunch of Furbies and fucking release them to the world.
Oh my God, that'll get recalled so quick.
You like feed it and it's like, give me blood, more blood.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. Yeah, people would never allow it.
Innocent.
Did you see that horse toy that everybody's in an uproar because it has a nut sack on it?
No.
Yeah, there's
Oh my
like
God.
a big ass like uproar right now because there's this little horse toy that's pretty popular. And apparently it had a little bit of a nut sack on the back end that you could look at under its tail. And parents are flipping the fuck out. It's like,
If you flick it, did it whinny?
No, God, it was a hard plastic. So it was just like a mounded plastic nut sack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I bet Norman would have some interesting things to say about the horse nut sack.
Yeah, it's 3 people with axes all axing each other.
Great, Norman. Thanks. Norman's like the goth kid at Thanksgiving.
Oh, man.
And what are you thankful for, Norman? I'm thankful for the death that comes to everyone each day. And for each day I creep closer to its warm embrace. Like, great, Norman. Can you pass me the fucking cranberries? Like, you really are a downer at these family gatherings.
I love cranberries for the shadow of red. He's just out of fresh blood.
He puts his headphones on. I walk a lonely road.
Fucking Green Day posing motherfucker.
Norman's not hard.
No,
We
it's
know it.
weak ass motherfucker. Super soft birthday for him. Oh man, well, moving along, we're going to finish this up with a little bit of Florida news. I always love to touch on Florida news. We got the freedom of the press. We get to hear all the goodies.
Little sunshine laws.
This one just made me giggle when I read it. So that's why we're covering it on the show. We're going down to Florida, and a lady was pulled over. She was one of 2 passengers in a car. And unfortunately, when the police officer came up to the window to see what was going on with his car, it smelled a little bit like weed. All right? That'll get you in trouble in those non-cool states like Florida or New York.
I think even in the cool states, they might get pissed if your like entire car smells like bud, unless you haven't smoked it yet.
Yeah, you're like, hey, I just picked it up. Sometimes it just reeks, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Some
If you just
buds.
picked it up, that's
Yeah.
feasible reason.
Left it in your car, went to grocery shop, and now your car's like reeking, you know?
Yeah.
You never know.
Good call.
But yeah, so the cop's like, get the fuck out of the car. Search this shit. He searches the car, and he does indeed find a little bit of marijuana, but he finds also, along with the marijuana, some cocaine in the lady's purse. And this is where it gets amazing. This is the response to where the cocaine came from. The lady defends herself after the officer questioned her about the cocaine, and she said, "Hey man, it's a windy day. Must have flown in through the window into my purse."
Was her so her window was open in the car?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say anything like that because I believe the police officer just said, "Ha!" to your bullshit and locked her ass immediately up.
Yeah, that's like one of the most implausible things to happen.
Yeah.
Cocaine's not just blowing around the streets like a fucking snowdrift.
This is in Miami in the 80s, bitch. Get real.
Fucking, so she's just claiming that a magical wind picked up like a baggie of coke and placed it in her bag.
Yeah, man. She never saw that drugs before in her life, apparently.
I have to say I don't believe her. I've never like had any like very helpful wind just blow drugs my way.
Oh, man, one can only wish, right? I mean, shit. It's a windy day here in New York. We got a wind advisory. I didn't get any drugs blown to my front door. I'm a little upset.
If it was gonna happen, it would probably be on the day that you get searched, though, right? That's
Oh man,
how luck
That is-
would have it.
I just got the worst luck, officer.
It's like a fucked up leprechaun playing a trick or something.
Oh man, yeah. Doesn't bring you gold. He just brings you bags upon bags of cocaine. And at the worst moments.
That's like a monkey's paw situation. It's like I wish like magical wind would just blow drugs into my bag when I'm not looking.
Yeah, but you didn't say when. And
Well,
it's
yeah.
only going to do that when you're getting pulled over by the cops.
Exactly. You always got to think about it, man. Whatever you're wishing for, it could come back to bite you in the ass.
Well, I'm just going to, just in case, everybody be careful out there on those windy days because this lady was charged with a felony count of cocaine possession and a misdemeanor count of marijuana possession because you know how they tag along. They hit you with all the charges if you do something really bad.
Right.
So,
Oh man, they're gonna be. She's gonna have a lot of money to pay for all those charges.
yeah, or time. She might do some time. You never know, man. You get into the serious drugs and you got to do time with your life. And that's
True.
horrendous. Don't wish that upon anybody. So avoid those things that'll get you in trouble, people. Come on now.
Yeah, keep it as legal as possible,
Yeah.
but still have some fun.
Yep. Keep it legal. Keep your time.
We like having fun. We like laughing at things, and especially funny clips.
Oh, what kind of funny clip do we have this week?
This week, we're gonna give them a little hint. You gotta have to go over to our Facebook page to actually see the funny clip of the week. We always put it up on Friday. It's a little Friday funny for you. Matt, do you wanna give them a little
I'll
hint?
give them a little taste. I'm gonna say, hey, if you go to the store, you better go to that store with the right change because you never know. This might end up being you.
Oh, a little warning.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so
Make a PSA style on this video.
you'll have to go over and check out the Facebook page to see what Matt's talking about and heed his omen for the future.
I would.
How you
This
should
video.
handle your change business.
You don't want to be on the other end of this one. I'm telling you. Well, moving along before we get into some entertainment suggestions, we've got a word from our personal friends and a personal favorite podcast of ours, the Podworm Spacecast.
The Podworm Spacecast is a podcast hosted by 7 lifelong friends who inject comedy directly into your ear canals every Tuesday. You may think 7 hosts is too many for a podcast, but you may also think $5 is too cheap for a quality voiceover such as this. Yet here we are. Enjoy a clip from the critically acclaimed Podworm Spacecast.
And I looked up how do you fix squeaky shoes, and they said you gotta get some baking soda and you put it in the shoe, and it absorbs like the moisture or whatever, and it fixes the shoe.
Boom.
I went to the store across the street. I went to the bathroom.
During lunch? The bathroom in the store across
This
the
is
street.
emergency. This cannot wait till tomorrow.
You did this at work?
I told you I couldn't get off my desk. I'm so embarrassed.
So Andrew walked across the street.
No, it was more like,
He was in a hurry. He was in a hurry. And then he had to wait for the light.
You can find the Podworm Spacecast wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, keep squirming.
You get more out of life when you go out to a movie.
And we are back, and it is time to talk about what the fuck we've been watching. And I think you're going to start it out, right, Jess?
Yeah, I've got a suggestion here for you. Actually, I think both of our suggestions are from Netflix.
Nice and easy. God, you got to have that Netflix subscription. I mean, I can't pound that enough. I love it. It's
Yeah.
nice and easy. They always got the best content for any type of streaming. So,
And that's unsponsored, unbiased opinion. That's just us, we enjoy it ourselves. We're not sponsored. We're not against it. Netflix wants to throw us shit. We got script ideas.
they're making millions. They could throw a couple this way.
Right. So the show I'm going to suggest, it's called Russian Doll, and it is the description on IMDb says a cynical young woman in New York City keeps dying and returning to the party that's being thrown in her honor on that same evening. She's trying to find a way out of this strange time loop. So it has a very Groundhog's Day-ish premise, and it stars Natasha Lyonne, who you may recognize as, I forget her name, but she's on Orange is the New Black.
She was in American Pie. I always remember her from
In
that.
American Pie. She's done tons of things. On Orange is the New Black, she was, I want to make sure that I get her name right, Nikki Nicholas. That's right, Nikki. She's the younger girl who hangs out with Red on Orange is the New Black.
Yep.
And in this series, she is as they said, stuck in a time loop. She keeps on reaching her points at which she dies in different ways, being sent right back to where she started. So eventually, after doing this a number of times, she starts to realize, like, I'm supposed to do something. Like this wouldn't keep happening if there wasn't a purpose to like what's going on. And she eventually meets up with, someone else, and that sort of, I'm not going to ruin it, but like that's a bigger part of the story. There's someone she's supposed to sort of meet in this alternate universe that keeps happening. It goes into a really like weird sort of open-ended plot that could potentially lead for a season 2. I actually binged this over the course of a weekend with my girlfriend. We like saw it pop on. It was very like out of nowhere, it felt like, and we just really got sucked into it. We liked that actress from Orange is the New Black. We always loved her character on that show, so we figured this would be a cool thing to see her in. And it's really cool. It's shot really well. The music is really good in it. All the acting is really interesting, and the way that they deal with like time and paradoxes and stuff like that is all dealt with in a very cool way, I would say.
It looks very interesting. I've seen the trailer. Once you told me about it, I watched that real quick. It's on my watch list. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. How many episodes was it?
I believe it's like 10 or 13, I want to say.
Standard season.
Yeah, I can get you a... want to see how many episodes there are. Season
It's always good.
1.
A lot to binge. That's what I like, man. I like when there's like a good amount to watch.
Yeah, unless I pull up Netflix, I'm not really going to be able to give you an episode list. But it's I want to say like 10 to 13, maybe. I don't think it's much more than that.
Yeah. I like ones like that.
And they're under an hour, I think, besides like maybe the finale.
Okay, so they're like what, the 40-minute? Like, was it made for Netflix or was it made for TV originally?
No, it's made for Netflix. This was went straight to Netflix, one of their original production. They have the Netflix original label on it, I should say.
Yeah, so they bought it before it went anywhere, yeah.
Exactly. So on IMDb, it got an 8.1 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it got a 97%, which is pretty high for stuff that we suggest. yeah. Usually it's hated, but yeah, we don't put too much credit into these rating systems. But this one got some good ratings, so I guess it's worth mentioning.
It looks good. I would definitely recommend it. I haven't seen it yet, but it definitely looks like something worth checking out.
Yeah, so check out Russian Doll on Netflix, and I hope you enjoy it.
Oh yeah. Now I'm going to bring a little laughter to your life. The thing I'm talking about is a comedy special. Ken Jeong is Ken Jeong. It sounded like it said Ken Jeong.
Not a chemist, but a doctor.
You might know him as Leslie Chow from the Hangover series. You might know him as Dr. Ken from his own TV series. I don't know. Maybe you watched Community. He's been on a bunch of shit.
I loved him on Community.
Yeah. He's a great guy. Apparently, Judd Apatow is really the reason he's everywhere. He found him for Knocked Up, put him in that role, and he was like, "You're my fucking." I don't know what he called him. He says it in the special. Like, he was just like, "You're my star. I found you. Like, and I'm gonna put you in every one of my movies." And he really did. He did. He put him in like every movie he made and helped him get connected too as well.
That's crazy.
Just a really funny guy. I always enjoyed his roles in everything I saw him in. He's just one of those guys. And to see, his first comedy stand-up special come out like this on Netflix, I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this out.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it, man. He does a lot of stories of, how important The Hangover was to his career, how he gets recognized, stories about his wife and how he came up, which is really interesting. He was a doctor before, becoming really an actor. He'd always practiced his art of comedy, like did a lot of like stand-up, open mic nights and stuff like that. But his main focus was on becoming a physician.
Did you say the title of his special?
Oh, I might not have. It's called You Complete Me, Ho, which his wife's name is Ho. So that's where that comes from. So it's H-O, not H-O-E.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Right available on Netflix. And but Ken is just an awesome dude. Really cool story about where he came from. Just like not just any doctor. He was really fucking good at what he did too. I mean, he got a position at Kaiser Permanente, which, I mean, that's where you go apparently.
Yep.
Pretty funny when you said that.
They're a pretty big provider in California.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was really happy to do that, but he always wanted to take a leap and get into acting, but never really took the leap. And apparently his wife was sick with cancer and was like, you need to do this. Like, this is what I want. Like, if you're going to do anything for me, take a leap, and try out doing that, because I know it's going to make you happy. And he literally did do it. His wife recovered over the course of his career, through treatment and everything. And she's doing great. And so is he, man. He's done so many fucking movies, so many TV shows since 2007 when we really got his breakout role.
Yeah, he was in Crazy Rich Asians recently too.
Yeah, I saw that on his long list of movies. Let alone he's got a fucking almost as long TV show list too.
Is it an hour-long special?
Yeah, it's an hour-long special. It's pretty fun. It got a lot of hate, which we'll get to when I get to the rating, but I really enjoyed it myself. I thought he did pretty good you got to take in, consideration. It's his first fucking stand-up. That's
what I was thinking. It'd be almost cool just for that aspect of it.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. I thought there was, some jokes in there that made it pretty good. You got to watch it. Let me know what you think. If you didn't think I was on point with it, let me know. But
is he more of a storyteller kind of comedian?
Yeah, I would say most of his shit is based on stories. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not really any one-liners except if he gets in the heat of the moment and he's riffing,
Yep.
He definitely, you could tell he creates some shit on stage. But I mean, it was just overall enjoyable. There's a little bit of crowd work, a little bit of this and that, but mainly, storytelling.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, which I appreciate. I like seeing that third dimension of a person that you're used to seeing.
It sounds like he has an interesting story as well. So
yeah. So I would definitely check it out. Easy access right on Netflix. Didn't get the best ratings like I was talking about. IMDb hated it with a 5.7 out of 10. And Rotten Tomato audience meter, 37%, which you should all be ashamed of yourselves. All. I mean, it definitely, I will say.
You got to think about the people who are on there doing the ratings, though.
Yeah. At the end, it kind of, goes up and down. But overall, I would say, it's a lot more enjoyable than a lot of the comedy on Netflix. There's some bad stand-up specials out there.
But it's good that at least you think he did good. I'm definitely going to take some time to throw it on. I like putting on comedy specials when I'm like kind of cleaning or tidying up.
That's usually what I do. I'll be like working on the show or like doing something else and just throw that on.
Not to insult the comedians out there. It's just I'm busy and I still want to enjoy your craft.
Yeah, and you can take in the most of it by just audio.
And I can kind of glance up, if I need to.
Yeah, if it's really good, I'll like come back into the room and be like, what's going on?
Because some comedians are very physical and you almost need to be watching.
Yeah, true. I mean, not that there's many, but prop comedians, you're not getting away with.
Yes.
Like Carrot Top. I think Carrot Top's a prop comedian now.
Oh, yeah. So be sure to watch Russian Doll and Ken Jeong's You Complete Me, Ho. Those are available on Netflix for your viewing pleasure. Let us know what you think. We'll be posting up trailers on our Facebook page, and we'd love for you to chime in.
Oh, yeah. Get at it.
So next we have the return of the Wheel of Weird. But before we get to that, we're going to hear a little promo from our good friends over at the Murderous Minors Killer Kids podcast.
This is Murderous Minors Killer Kids, bringing you the frightening and truly insane tales of children with the thirst to kill. Kindergarten through 12th grade murderers. True stories thoroughly researched. Join us weekly for new tales of parents' worst nightmares on Murderous Minors Killer Kids.
That's really fucking weird.
And we are back with the Wheel of Weird.
Oh, yeah. Time to spin that bitch like no tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's been a while, so maybe some people aren't familiar with the Wheel of Weird. We might have to do a little bit of splaining here.
Got some splaining to do?
Got some splaining to do. We're like Lucy.
Oh, man.
The way the Wheel of Weird works, we dive into the pages of the Wiki Unusual and come up with a person, place, or thing. We give the wheel a spin, and depending what it lands on, we talk about that thing.
Oh, yeah.
So for person, we got Thursday, October Christian the 1st. For place, we got Nitwit Ridge. And for thing, we got the Voynich manuscript.
Let's see what the wheel says.
All right, we got it spinning. If you're watching the video, you can see it.
All right, Thursday, October, Christian the 1st.
All right, I was kind of hoping it would land on this one, because it actually ties into a Slacker history we did a while back. Do you remember the story, The Mutiny of the Bounty, Matt?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember Fletcher Christian?
Was he the one that landed on the island by himself, like, and had a family or whatever?
Pitcairn Island.
Yeah.
And he was with the mutineers who took the boat. Thursday, October Christian the 1st is the first son of Fletcher Christian, the leader of the mutiny on the Bounty.
Oh, wow. So born on that island.
He was the first child born on Pitcairn Island.
Wow, that's crazy. That's wild, man.
He wanted, I guess Fletcher Christian said he wanted his son to have no name that will remind me of England.
Okay.
So he just gave him a weird fucking name.
Just went out there with it. All right, swing away.
Yep. At 16, Thursday married an older native woman, and she was past the age of 30 at the time. So he was going for those cougars, I guess.
Oh, man, hunting cougars on the island. All right.
Yeah, cougar hunt. So he ended up dying in Tahiti in 1831. He had no immunity to the diseases of the island, which is what ended up leading to his untimely death.
Damn, motherfucker went to mainland and caught the flu and croaked.
Yep, pretty much. He didn't have a historic existence, I guess, besides being the first person born on Pitcairn Island and being the son of the man who was led to mutiny on the Bounty.
But I mean, that's a crazy story in itself. The mutiny of the Bounty is just insane. That whole storyline.
Yeah, you can go back and listen to our episode on that. I'm not sure which one it is, so you'll have to dig through it.
Yeah, it's in the labels. Just search, you'll find it.
Yeah, but the man did have a weird fucking name,
dude,
and very, very much could not remind you of New England or of England. Thursday, October, Christian the 1st. Well, I guess Christian. He's like, damn it, I forgot my last name. That fucking threw me off.
It's episode 91, Mutiny of Master Splinter, just so everybody knows. I wanted to throw that out there.
Matt with the facts.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we had that down there because it's kind of weak to be like, yeah, it's out there. Just fucking find it.
Yeah,
now
no.
You know.
Good.
Now you know.
Good on it.
Yeah, it's a fucking awesome story. I really enjoyed learning about it, so I think you guys will too. And that way you know what the fuck we're talking about right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been a lot of fun, and I think this is about the time we wrap this sucker up.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We love each and every one of you. And yeah, keep joining us on this journey. And until next time, that's it.
There you go.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We're second America.
This has been American Slacker Podcast. You can reach the show by searching American Slacker on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit, or send them an email to americanslackerpodcast@gmail.com. You can download and rate American Slacker on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and all other podcast platforms. Visit the show's website, aspodcast.com, where you will find every episode, official merchandise, and links to their Patreon if you would like to support American Slacker.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We're second America. Bitch, I'm on a mission. Better pay attention, man. I gotta get it till my fucking digits hit the fucking limit. Shit, I'll never finish, but I'll end up winning, even though I'm sitting.